All right, everybody. We are back with another episode of, you already know, the Relentlessly Becoming podcast. And today's topic is one that is really amazing. And so, and going to be funny, and we're going to get into some good conversation. And I have some really amazing guests, but we'll get into that later. One of the things that I see all the time on social media is everybody making statuses and Instagram posts and memes and TikToks about what it's like to date in today's time. And so I thought that it would be imperative that we do an episode on this season on dating in your 20s and 30s. It's only right. And so that's what today's episode is going to be about. We're going to uncover some things that we have experienced as a collective, as people dating in our 20s and 30s. We were supposed to have 3 special guests today, 2 beautiful young ladies and a young man. Unfortunately, the young man could not make it, so I will be keying in on the perspective from a black man's perspective. And so please forgive me if I say something that everybody don't resonate with. Go find something else, because I'm going to say what I feel, and that's what we're going to do on this podcast tonight. But I am thankful for you tuning in, and I cannot wait for you all to hear what we're about to talk about today. See you all in a minute. Opportunity, emotion, grit, relentlessness. Cling to the sound of my voice and understand that what you want wants you. What you need needs you. And you are relentlessly becoming relentlessly better. Welcome to the Relentlessly Becoming podcast. Let's go. All right. Well, let's get into the conversation. Today, I have 2 beautiful, fine, intelligent, gorgeous. I just can't even put into all of the amazing words the guests that I have here today. Kayla and Nay, thank y'all so much for joining me to have this conversation and talk about what it's like dating in your 20s and 30s from a black, young, gorgeous female's perspective. I'm grateful to have y'all here on the couch. I've known both of these ladies for some time now. They are really amazing. And as y'all know, I'm very intentional about the people that I invite into this space, onto this couch, because this is my child. And as you know, you do not let everybody steward over your child. But I feel like these 2 ladies would be really great for this conversation that we're going to have today. And so I'm going to allow them to introduce themselves and tell us a little bit about them and their lives. So go ahead.
Okay. Well, I'm Kayla, Kayla _Monet on Instagram. And I'm an accountant out here in Dallas. I work for a pretty prestigious company, I would say. Let's see, what else? I'm 30. I am dating in Dallas.
Okay.
What else? I have a dog. His name is Quavo. That's me. I'm Kayla.
Awesome. Okay.
Okay, I guess it's my turn. I'm Nay. I'm originally from California, but raised in Dallas, Texas. I'm 33 years old. I am in HR. I do work for Ally as well. I have a dog too. Her name's Chai. I am dating in Dallas. And it's dating, but we'll talk about that very much soon.
So is that exclusive dating, or is that dating? Because people break these things. Like, I was just literally having a conversation with somebody that I began conversing with, and we were talking about what the phases of being with somebody looks like. And so for me is, I meet you, we talk. Okay. If the conversation goes well, we begin to date. If dating goes well, we date exclusively, which means I am only dating you. We're still not in a relationship, but I am only focusing my time on you. And then we graduate to being in a relationship, and then engaged, and then married. Is it that same thing for y'all? And is this for y'all dating exclusively, or just dating to see who I would move to the next level with?
Well, I think it is the same. The exact same order. But right now, I'm not dating exclusively. Okay. I'm just dating.
Now, you're not going to have that man waters. Mad at my podcast because you just said that.
No, he shouldn't be mad. I mean, we haven't agreed to no exclusivity. Yeah, so
we just dating. We hanging out, getting to know each other.
Yeah, getting to know each other.
What about you, Nay?
I'm not exclusively dating either. I'm dating. Now, I'm not dating like multiple, but trying to see where I want to take it to with the level with the man that I'm dating. We haven't had that conversation. Yeah. Whenever that conversation gets here, it's going to have to be strict and to the point. But right now, we're just going with the flow.
Gotcha.
That's all we can do right now.
Got you. So for y'all growing up, what did relationships look like? Did you have solid examples of healthy relationships in your house, or were they different? And how do you think that's affected your mindset on how you date now?
I guess I'll go first. So me growing up, my parents were married, but then they did separate and got divorced when I was 12. So at that point, it was just seeing only my mom and seeing her do everything in the house. So I would still see my dad, but eventually he moved to another state. But where my relationship advice came from was my grandparents. My grandfather, my grandmother, he eventually remarried with my step-grandmother, but seeing how he treated a woman, and even me and my mom, that took a big impact and a role in my life where, okay, this is what I want my future husband or my future boyfriend to do for me, or how he treats them. I want to be treated the same way. And that taught me to never settle. And a lot of qualities that I saw in my grandpa, I look for in my husband to be as well right now.
Yeah, I love it. What about you, Kayla?
Well, my parents were married. They also divorced, but they divorced when I was really young. Mm-hmm. So for me, relationships did look a little bit different. My grandmother, so basically it was just me, my mom, my grandma. My grandma, she didn't have a man. She didn't want a man. She wanted to be a strong Black woman, you know? Mm-hmm. And my mom, she wanted to be with someone else, but so they didn't, seeing all that, it was just a bit much. Mm-hmm. But then I did see other healthy relationships outside of my home or whatever. And, when I went to college and I started to learn as I got older and things like that. Mm-hmm. So I think that's my experience.
Yeah. When I was growing up, I grew up in a 2-parent household, but my parents' relationship for a long while, and they know I told them I was going to say whatever I'm going to say. They know I'm going to say it. It was toxic for quite a bit sometime, but as they grew, the relationship grew, and they eventually got better in certain areas and aspects. My parents are still married today. They are coming up on, this year will make 26 years married. I'm about to be 30. So this year will make 26 years that they have been married. And so some fundamentals of a relationship I've, gotten from them as far as like having somebody y'all could work together and do certain things. But then there are other aspects that I'm like, I know I don't want that because I've seen them experience that. So I'm going to go the other route. And so my question for you, Nate, is because you saw your grandparents have this relationship and you began to develop these expectations, how do you separate expectations of this is how I should be treated versus I got to let this person be themselves? Because I have 2 close best friends and both of them are very adamant because of the way that the men in their families are, that if this man ain't doing all this, I ain't going to be with him. So are you that same way, or do you separate the boundaries? I
separate the boundaries. I'm not that same way. I can't be that strict because I don't want nobody to be that strict on me. Mm-hmm. Especially how they grew up, or my mama did this. Well, don't expect me to do everything that your mama did. I can't do that. But it's a part of growing together and learning each other. Okay, maybe you can't do this to 100%, but you can do it to 80%. And then we just have to meet in the middle and just go from there. But I do definitely, like you said, I do look at how he treated. Certain things are triggers and certain things are no. Mm-hmm. Like, you do this and I'll be like, nah, I know I'm worth more than that, so I'm not going to sit here and settle for that. But I'm willing to work with anybody. Like I said, compromise is a big thing, especially in dating and relationships. So as long as we can meet in the middle and come to an agreement, then we good.
Yeah. And for you, Kayla, I know you talked about your parents' divorce, and then you saw your grandma, and she didn't want to deal with nobody. Mm-hmm. And in a commonality, in a lot of older Black women, especially when we were growing up, they were like that because my grandma was the same. Like I think my grandma had maybe a boyfriend or 2 as I was growing up, but she was a strong Black woman who was just like, I ain't got to have no man. I ain't finna tolerate nothing from no man. Mm-hmm. Do you think that you maybe have that quality? Do you think something like that rubbed off on you where you just like, it is what it is? If I talk to you, I talk to you. If I don't, I don't.
No, because I try my best to get up out of that type of mindset. But there are times where I just be like, all right, F it, I'm going to just do my own thing or whatever. So I mean, that's a good question.
Because it can.
Yeah.
And
nah, because I do want somebody. You know what I'm saying? And I do. My dad is in my life, obviously, and I feel like now he's a good dude. Before he was not a good dude, so I know exactly what to look for in a dude that ain't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But so I feel like my dad did set a good example later in life. So I know what to expect and things like that. But it's just, I don't know, it's different nowadays.
Yeah.
So.
And examples can be examples of what you want to do and examples of what you do not want to do. And I think that it is okay and valid to say, I seen this, I'll take that, I seen that, I know I don't want that. And then having that healthy balance of giving grace to a person to understand that they're an individual and I can set expectations on how you should treat me in a sense, but I can't set unrealistic expectations on you should be wrapped and draped in all of this and it has to be because it doesn't work like that. It's different strokes for different folks, as my family used to say. So you got to understand how to migrate and move when dating with the different personalities and that people are different. And so different things come. And so that's a great start. So talk to me about y'all's first love, because that's how we're going to uncover, get into where you are now and how you show up. What was that experience of having that first love or what you thought that first love was? And how did you handle that separation? And then how does it show up in how you date now? Does that hurt show up still in how you date?
Okay, so I'll start. My first love, I think I was in high school. I was a freshman in high school. I dated this guy. He was the brother of one of my friends I went to grammar school with. So I ended up meeting him and fell in love with him, supposedly. We was kids, we was young, and we dated for quite some time. And let me tell you how in love I was. I lived on the west side. He lived far south, in the hundreds. So, when you get south, you start going by numbers. He lived in the hundreds. It was far. I took 2 trains and a bus to get to that man's house.
In Chicago. Let's be clear, she's from Chicago.
Yeah, I'm from Chicago. I'm sorry, I say that. But yes, I used to do that very often. I was in love. That was my man. But then, he told me he didn't want to be friends on Facebook. So I'm like, why we can't be friends on Facebook? Why not? The relationship will get messy, this, that, and the third, woo, woo. So I'm like, okay, whatever. We still dating, going on dates, doing little stuff in high school. So one day I was like, I'm going to make a fake page. And I made a fake page on Facebook and added everybody on the west side. They all accepted it. And then so I added him. So he thought it was a girl from the west side. And he accepted it. And I got on his page. He had on there that he was in a relationship with a whole nother girl. Her name was Britt Bratt. She was from the south side. Yeah. And so that was my first heartbreak. I asked him about it. He went off. He got so mad. And we broke up. I took the train all the way back home, baby. I was crying. I got home. That was my first heartbreak. My first love and then my first heartbreak. It was bad. And then I had to keep seeing that man because I was friends with his brother. So I just keep it in the back of my head. Now, any dude what I'm talking to now, baby, we following each other on whatever.
Because I need to see. I need clarification.
I need to see. So that's the answer to the second question. That's how that affected my dating life now.
So young, how did you find yourself getting over that breakup? Because breakups are messy and tough and hard to get over.
I mean, I was in high school. So, after a while, I don't know. I was in high school. What was I doing?
Dating somebody else.
No, I wasn't even dating nobody else. I was just on social media. We was
listening to music.
Yeah, listening
crying.
to music, going outside. And I was the only friend with a car in high school. So, baby, I was picking everybody up. We was grooving, baby. I was outside. So that's probably how I got over it.
What about you, Nay?
Thinking it was my first love. I was in high school. I was 16. My senior year, actually. So the boy that I dated, we were actually really best friends from freshman year to junior year. So happened he was like, I want to take this to another level. I'm like, okay. I know your family. You know my family. We already invested as friends. So let's see where that's going to go. So high school was cool. It was petty and messy though, with drama and girls. I knew I was probably getting a little delusional because he went to the movies with a girl and my heart just broke. And I'm like, Ajane, like, it's the movies. But that's my first like real considered boyfriend. So it's like, no, you need to get your SHIT together. So, but long story short, graduated. We went to 2 different colleges. He went to North Carolina. I'm in Houston at U of H. So at first, it was cool. We'd fly out maybe once every 2 weeks. He come there, I go there. But when you are 17, you're going to college. That's a different experience. You in a different city. You got different people. It's a whole different life. Dallas and Houston is a whole different life. And even with him going to North Carolina, that's totally different too. So you got to take the chance of the other girls, the other boys. So it kind of took a toll on me as far as long distance calling. It's girls in the background. This and another, but we were together for 4 years. So we made it work until the very end. I could just feel myself kind of like fading away. Mm-hmm. And I get to the point of why I faded away. But that breakup wasn't as bad because I literally was probably in a relationship 4 months later. So it wasn't like
you had been left that relationship.
I was checked out.
You had been there,
and I tried to tell him several times. Like, this is going into my sophomore year in college. I'm like, hey, it's not. But he wouldn't let it go. So I'm like, I'm just warning you ahead of time. I'm not all the way in. Yeah. I wasn't doing anything, but it was just like when it blew up. And then I was just like, oh, well, I got a fella over here. So, Yeah, and that leads to my next in love. I was so in love. But yeah, that's what happened. So that relationship really didn't take a effect on me. I probably should have took a little time, though, to kind of like deal with myself, heal before actually getting into another relationship. Because, stuff like that can follow you. So, but that one didn't really break me down too bad.
Yeah. But the next one did.
Child.
So how you deal with the next breakup?
So we were together for like 6 years, on and off. I met him in college. We moved back to Dallas. Now that relationship got toxic. Very much so. That one took a lot out of me to actually leave. Mm-hmm. And I think my main reason for sticking in that one was because of history. Mm-hmm. And I always kind of tell people now, like, don't just put your relationship, base it off of history because you've been on them for, hella years. Mm-hmm. That don't mean anything. Mm-hmm. It took me probably 2 years to actually date. Again, I didn't want nothing to do with guys. Mm-hmm. I didn't trust you. My guard was 20 feet up. Mm-hmm. It took me a while because I was beefing with him for those 2 years. We're cordial now. We're cool now. Let me say that. We cool, just in case you see this. But we're at 2 different levels. Like, we had to move on. So, but that one definitely played a part in my dating and talking for a long time.
Oh, and that leads us right into the next question. But I wanted to say this. History is not a reason to keep a relationship just because you've known somebody or been with somebody X amount of time, because slavery is a part of history too, but that don't make it right. Yeah. So just because you got history with somebody don't mean you need to be lap-tied and latched to them because, you're afraid that it won't work. Yeah, what if it doesn't? But what if it does? Like, I remember my first, I made it all through high school without the love thing. I didn't have I dated in high school. But I didn't have like a love. It was just like, whatever. I'm dating because it's fun to do and everybody else dates. So, yeah. Then I got to college and that's when it got real. Made it through undergrad and I had my first touch of what I think is love. But it wasn't really, one of them little, you get to college, it's a little semester relationship. Like it only lasts one semester. You talk to somebody and, I'm thinking, oh, my goodness, this is going to be blissful and joy. End of the semester, click up. But when I got in grad school and I fell in love at the end of grad school, I had made it all the way through grad school. It was the last semester. Fell in love. Got the opportunity to move to Dallas. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this distance thing. You gonna be still in Mississippi at Mississippi State. I'm gonna be in Dallas, and I just come back and forward. You still dealing with your ex. And like I'm on social media and I see the ex done posted a location that y'all together. This ex don't live in town. So y'all got a pin location. I'm talking about I'm at work sick. I can't I'm in the bathroom throwing up and crying. Like I'm sick. I ain't never had no experience like this before. And how I ended up getting through that, and so I asked the question, I'm like, you still effing around with your ex? Like y'all dealing with each other? Yeah, we just got a love that I just can't let go. Like you're great, but this just where my heart is.
My stomach would have dropped.
When I tell you crushed, I was like not eating. I see that's how I know that was my first real love / heartbreak experience, because and literally, I'm in my first few months here in Dallas. I just moved to Dallas. Like, I just moved to Dallas 2 months ago. And so going through this motion, and I'm talking about I'm crying every day at work. I'm sick and just can't make it. And Dre and Pooh, I'll never forget. They wanted to go out. I hadn't been out with them in like a week or two. I just wasn't feeling it. I was living in Grapevine at the time. They were living in North Dallas. They got in the car and drove to my house. Came in, made me put on clothes, and made me go out. And that was like the first day that I started feeling better. And I was like, you know what? I got to come out of this because I can't allow this separation to make me lose who I am. I'm going to go through the motions. I'm going to get through the emotions. And then I'm going to come out on the backside of better, knowing how to approach the next situation. And that's what I think is what's beautiful with me when it comes to separation. I take separation very hard because I'm a very intentional person. If I say I like you, if I say I'm with you, if I say I'm dating you, I really am locked in with you. And I try my best to give all that I can. And so when I have to pull back from that, it's hard for me to pull back. And I have so much resistance within myself because it takes so much for me to pack all that up and take it back. But I just recognize that sometimes it's necessary and you leave some of the baggage there, but you take some really good lessons with you. But you touched on having a 2-year period in between you wanting to date again. Why do you think so many times, so many of us, especially in our day, in our younger day, we experience trauma and we experience these hurtful situations and it hinders us from moving forward? Why do you think that's so prevalent with so many young people, not just Black women or, Black men, but just young people, period? Why do you think that's so prevalent?
I think a lot of people are scared to get hurt again. Yeah. I know that was my issue. And then it was just like, well, if he did that, you might could do that too. So it's like, let me just chill for a little bit. But then also with going through breakups, especially if they're toxic or long, you kind of got to take that time to deal with yourself, heal yourself, because if you take that into your next relationship, it's not going to go too well. And I did that. I tried to date, but it was like I was putting what my ex did onto the new guy. And I know that's not fair. Like, because you really didn't do me no wrong. It's just I'm traumatized because of that. And then at that point, I was like, nah, Ajane, like, just focus on you right now. Mental reset, hard reset, do everything that you need to do because you want to give that next person, the right opportunity to be the best that they can be for you instead of putting off old habits of somebody else onto that person. Yeah, definitely don't want to be hurt again.
What do you think it is, Kayla?
I agree. I think people they really don't want to be hurt. They don't want to go through the motions. I was just saying, like, that feeling you get when you find out something that just happened between your boo or whatever, like that feeling you get in your stomach, I don't even want to experience that right now. To this day, I'm still hesitant. Like, it's so hard liking somebody. So, I just... So I understand. People be scared because it's scary because there's some crazy people out here and people do some crazy stuff.
When they hard broke.
Exactly. Like, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes it does take a long time to get over heartbreak. Like, you just don't want to date. I still would date. I still would because, I just need sometimes to distract my mind, So I would still date even though I'm getting over a breakup. But I know that it's not nothing serious or, you know what I'm saying? So, but that's just me.
For me, I in between like serious time with somebody, I have to take time to myself. I can't immediately go and start, talking to somebody else and involving myself. I go through a cleanup process within myself, cleaning up those emotions, but also being accountable and cleaning up whatever wrong that I did to try to rid myself of it so that I don't make that mistake again. And so for me, it takes me time to even want to entertain the fact of jumping out there and let me try to date again and let me try to get back out there and get my feet wet. Because like you said, you so many people are fearful of being hurt, but I just think that in me, I'm emotionally intelligent, so I'm very in tune with my emotions. I'm not a prideful person. I'm very honest about what hurts me and what I don't like. And I know a lot of men struggle with those things. But for me, I just don't want to latch on to anybody else while I'm going through that cleanup process, that healing process. And I think that oftentimes I see some people who are on opposite end of the spectrum. You'll have some people, they done with you today. Oh, I'm going out, dating somebody, having sex with somebody, doing this tomorrow. And then there are some people who be like, I got to take a minute or a long gap. And I'm not the type of person who tells anybody that their process is wrong. The only thing I say is if you're on the end of the spectrum where you're going to immediately go to somebody else, make sure you're clear with whoever else you're dealing with that this is the phase that I'm in. Don't start dealing with somebody and have them thinking you ready to jump in another relationship and you still not over your ex. Because that's not fair. Then you're being deceitful and you're bringing trouble to yourself because you're going to get karma. But if you're upfront and honest about where you are, you give that person the opportunity to say, hey, I choose to deal with this and vibe with you in this way, or I'm going to leave it alone. And so I think that's a valid point because we go through so many emotions and go through so many things like that. But we often see, because of trauma and hurt, so many debates of men versus women. Like, I get tired of logging on Facebook and seeing men versus women, women versus men. She need to be doing this. He need to have this. She shouldn't be wearing this. He shouldn't be going here. Let me tell y'all something. Let me look into this camera and tell y'all something before we let these two lovely guests take in, because it's been on my chest and I've been wanting to get it out for a long time. Stop trying to tell a woman, men, how to be a woman. And women, stop trying to tell a man how to be a man. If you notice that there are tendencies or traits of an individual that you do not like, look past them. Focus on raising your kids if you got some. And if you ain't got none, don't try to raise nobody else's child. Go and find and respond to the things that you like, desire, and deserve. Because sitting here being in a debacle of a debate about what a man should do or what a woman should do ain't gonna change nobody's mind or their process. It's just gonna make them not stand you a little bit more and probably mute you on social media. So stop trying to tell these people what they should do and where and go and be. And you need to be at home cooking and cleaning and wrenching your back, and you need to be at work making this amount of money. Go find what you desire and stop trying to turn a pumpkin into a prince. Okay, so why do y'all think... I'm sorry, I just had to take that intermission and get on my soapbox for a minute. Why do y'all think that there is such a heavy debate in these days with
social media,
men versus women?
Definitely social media.
Social media. People see superficial things on social media, so they start to believe, oh, my dude need to be doing this, or my girl need to be doing this. And we don't even know if they even doing that. They could just be posting it. So it's just starting a debate because that's what people are expecting, but not everybody doing that. So then that's when it becomes a debate. Like, what's right and what's wrong? Am I supposed to be doing this? Like, no. It's social media. People know what's right and people know what's wrong.
Yeah.
Definitely social media. You see it all the time, how people post on Instagram, couple goes.
Yeah.
You don't even know if this is real.
He could be beating her.
Like, you don't know what's going on behind closed doors. Like, what's
exactly.
going on? Like, it's social media plays a part. Like, us growing up as kids, that wasn't really, other than like MySpace or Black Planet, whatever that was back then.
Bebo.
Like, it wasn't making an impact like it is now.
Yeah.
People look at celebrities, see a celebrity post, whole bunch of money right here, that girl got this on, they think like, oh, I'm supposed to be living that life.
Yeah.
He could be beating her up behind closed doors. You don't know that. Yeah. So why would you want that? Like, build something that you want to build, like, between you and your partner.
And it works for you.
That's
exactly.
You see what people show you, but you don't know the backstory.
Correct.
And I think that that's what makes it so difficult. Like, I can't stand seeing the opposite gender trying to tell the other gender what they should be. Right. Just go and find what you desire. Why are you trying to change somebody? And most of the time, the people who be giving all this advice, you ain't even got yourself together. Because the ones who got themselves together and they're confident in what they doing, they not worried about what's not for them. I don't go nowhere that I don't want to go. I don't talk to nobody that I don't want to talk to. I'm not going to diminish and demean you for that being your thing. If it's not my thing, I look past it. And I get everybody ain't me, but I just think maybe that's me wrapped up in me. That it's commonality and necessary sense to look past things that are not for you. I don't have to debate with you about your views and what you want to wear. And if you want to wear a thong and a bra to the club at night, that's your mission and your motion. That don't mean I got to talk to you. If that's not what I want, I'm gonna look past it.
True.
And so it just boggles me why so many things. And I think that social media does play a part. Why do y'all think it's so hard for us as young Black people to date these days? What's the hardest part about dating? And why?
I think, honestly, I'm going to say two reasons. I'm going to say social media, and then I'm going to also say people don't want to be vulnerable anymore. Like, they don't want to be vulnerable anymore. Like, you know, because when you are, then you taking a risk. You know what I'm saying? And, I mean, that's just what I think, like, especially nowadays, because,
I said vulnerable, too. And then also, social media plays a part in people thinking that having multiple men or multiple women is the thing to do.
Yes.
And it's not, but it's like, well, I see this fella doing this. Well, let me go out here and have me 3 girls. And that's how drama gets started, mess gets started. Like, things can escalate to a whole different level just because you don't want to be honest and upfront of your intentions with a woman or vice versa with a man. So that definitely is it.
And I never got the concept of lying. Like, what do you need to be? People will probably be more receptive in the beginning of your honesty than you having to school around them. And I'm the type of person that me and God like this. You can lie to me, I ain't gonna even go look for it. God gonna tell me you lying. And then not only is God gonna tell me, God gonna give me the evidence, and it's gonna come until it click in my head. It's gonna come back to back to back to back to back until it's almost like you a fool if you try to get this person the benefit of the doubt. And I think that's the thing about me. Like I said, I'm emotionally intelligent, so I'm not afraid to be vulnerable, but so many people are because they're so scared of being used or mistreated or, you know. I think another issue is people are always looking for the next best thing. They get in one thing and they paint this picture in their head that, oh, I'm going to tip over here because that's going to be better when it ain't. And I think that that's what hurts a lot of people when it comes to dating as well. But in the words of my favorite singer and number one in my heart, Fantasia Monique Barino Taylor Butler. If you're not happy, then you're free to go on. Because one thing I know for sure, and two things I know for certain. over here, you ain't gonna never get that nowhere else. I don't care what he look like. I don't care what he do. I don't care what he give you, where he take you, where y'all go. It ain't gonna be none of that like over here. And it's not a material thing. It is a intentionality thing. You don't fall for me for the big things. It's the small things I do. Like folding your clothes.
I appreciate that more than the big
or
things.
you know, thinking about you or thinking about what are we gonna eat this week? Mapping out the menu, going by all the groceries, cooking the food. Like those small things, because I care enough to weave in those small intricate inconveniences or details within your day, because I try to be as considerate of you as possible. And I don't always get it right. I'm not going to sit here and lie and say that I'm always right and I've always shown up as the best thing since sliced bread in a relationship. But I know I'm intentional and I always have your best interests at heart. And with me on your team, you're going to win over here. Because that's what we do. You know, I could take nothing. You give me a sunflower seed, in 3 months, we're going to have a garden of sunflower seeds. And now, not only do we have a garden, we got a business plan on how we're going to package these and sell them and buy something. Because that's the way I operate over here. And I think that people get intimidated by that because I'm so driven and I want so much and I want to do so much that people be like, I don't know if I keep up with that pace. But I never asked you to.
That's on them.
Yeah, I don't ask you to. But I've also learned I can't set unrealistic expectations on the partner to be as fast and driven as me and you want. Because I literally go, I accomplish this next thing, accomplish this next thing. I go back to back. When I get this down, I never take a minute to stop and breathe it in. I'm like, what's the next thing that I could crush? But I'm learning to slow it down and to not push wherever I like to go beyond whatever their pace is. But I'm the type of, you tell me you want to do something, baby, I'm going to think of 1,000 ways we can get this done. What you need me to do? You need me to write out a business plan for you? You need me to call? You need me to email somebody? You know, and how I say all of that to say that I want people to adopt this mindset that if I could be this good to somebody who not for me, imagine how amazing I'm going to be when I connect with somebody that's really for me.
Yeah.
Imagine what we really going to do and really going to get done. And that's the mindset that I keep after every time I get heartbroken or have to do separation. Something in me says, close off. Don't mess with nobody. Don't tell them what you got going on. But another part of me, the stronger part of me, says, no, because what if that next person is the one? Now I'm giving them half or a partial benefactor of what they deserve and what we could build because I let somebody that's not for me take all of that. I be dang. You know, so I think that plays an intricate part. And we talked a little bit about vulnerability. What is it that you think really keeps people vulnerable, especially in y'all's, you know, relationship, dating certain guys? Why do you think these guys refuse to be vulnerable or what holds them back? And what are ways that you as their women support them? Because Black men and Black women need support from their partners. Like these men should be supporting y'all. Y'all should be supporting them. So what do you think keeps these men from being vulnerable? And what are ways that you support these men while y'all are dating?
Well, I'm going to say what keeps them from being vulnerable. I mean, well, just out here in Dallas, I feel like some guys out here, they have a lot of options. There's a lot of women out here doing a lot of great things. They're beautiful. You know what I'm saying? So, like, again, we go back to the same thing. They feel like they have options. So, you know, why be all in with this one person? And, you know what I'm saying? Whether she going to do what she going to do or if it's going to work out or not. And I can just be talking to, you know, multiple people, having my way. That's just what I think. And I feel like that's why a lot of dudes don't want to be vulnerable. Because, you know, why do that when I could talk to 3 or 4 other whatever girls or whatever, and they all going to treat me like this, that, and the third, you know? That's what I think. And a lot of them be messed up, too. They be dealing with issues, you know what I'm saying? A lot of guys don't prioritize their mental health. So they deal with certain things in different ways. So being vulnerable is just not on the list that day. You know what I'm saying? Well... So, and I mean, as far as how do I support a man, I can be very submissive. Like, you know, I'm the type, I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, you know what I'm saying? I'm planning stuff for us to do. If we in the house, we can take a bath. You know, I'm all that. I know how to be in the house. I know how to cater to my dude and stuff.
Okay,
because
this
I
is
was
shy.
also in. I know I was also in a long-term relationship. That's how I got to Dallas. I moved to Dallas with my college sweetheart, and we was doing the damn thing for a long time, but that ended. But however, I know how to be a good woman. I know how to prioritize my man and do all those great things, but. I'm not doing all that if though you're not all the way in. I may give you a glimpse. I might be nice here and there, but full out, no.
Yep.
Not if I don't think you serious.
Yes.
So.
Agree with it.
Me, my turn. Vulnerable. Like she said, especially in Dallas, you do have options, but you also have the woman that's gonna not make you, but ask you or to do certain things. But you also have that woman where you can do the bare minimum. She gonna do whatever. She gonna go. So they be like, well, I can cuss her out today. She gonna be at my crib tonight. You gonna be mad for 3 days. I might as well go over here. Like they play that role a lot out here nowadays, and it's just like
you gotta be a nigga peace.
Like,
and he not bringing you no peace
at all. You stressing me out
exactly,
and expect for me to just be like. But like she said, I know how to be submissive. I was submissive in my relationship. Loyal is nothing to me. I know how to commit. I know how to just be me and you. But you also have to give me that leadership role for me to do that. Yeah. I'm not going to give you 100% and you giving me 25.
Yeah.
True.
You have to make sure
that makes no sense. Like she said, little things here and there like, oh, this is what I'm capable of doing. You have not seen it all yet. But I gotta know we locked in. That plays into the part of exclusively dating, having that conversation, communicating, being transparent, open to get that.
Yeah,
but it's not hard. A lot of people think like, oh, we can go out, we have fun. They can't be no wife. They don't know how to do this or do that.
You just don't know.
You just don't know.
I don't gotta go outside.
Set the tone.
I choose to go outside,
and it is what it is. Like, but if you don't do that for me, I'll talk to you later.
And so we're hearing a lot on social media, and each year we get new terms. Now the candy term is soft life. Everybody want a soft life. What is it that these men could do to better support young Black women to make them want to be more vulnerable and more submissive? Because you talk about you're willing to do that. What traits make you safe enough or comfortable enough to do that? How does a man get you to that point?
One of my big things is communication.
Honesty.
I'd rather you tell me the truth and I take that information and I do what I want to do with it. I'm going to respect you more at the end of the day if you tell me up front what's going on, other than me finding out through somebody else or through social media. Communication is definitely it. Honesty. Making me feel safe, secure. When I'm with you, I don't have to worry about the extra going on. Like I always say, when it comes to me dating somebody, tell me so I don't have to hear it from nobody else. So if somebody come to me and be like, oh, Nate, so-and-so doing da-da-da-da, or he used to talk to da-da-da-da, I already know that, babe. Like, I don't need you to come around and tell me that.
Exactly.
Just, safe, communication, honesty for me is my big ones. Commitment, loyal. Like, that's really it for me.
Yes. I would say honesty, communication, and consistency for me. Yeah. Like some of like my previous dealings I've had with certain dudes, like we still close to this day because we were completely honest. Like they will still call me to this day, and if they got something going on, they just want somebody to talk to. You know what I'm saying? We not dealing with each other no more, no nothing, but I feel like honesty goes a long way. Give people the option to, decide if they want to deal with it or not. And if they do, cool. Y'all might even, grow a stronger bond because of that, But when you lying and I'm finding out all these other ways, now I don't trust you. Now I got to think about this. I'm always going to have that in the back of my head. So I'm definitely like, honesty is the thing for me. Like, let me decide. And if I like you enough, I'm going to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how it is.
Yeah. So I'd be more disgusted with the lie than the action. It's the lie. It ain't what you did. It's how you handled it. Because you chose the lie. And that's what makes it so crazy. And so we talked about that commitment and getting to that vulnerable piece and different things like that. When you get into those tough situations where you're liking somebody and y'all start bumping heads and disagreeing, what is it that lets you know I need to continue to be committed to this and I need to try to stay and work it out? What does that look like?
Well, for me, if we bumping heads and they probably like saying some truthful things like about me that I probably need to work on, then I will take that into consideration. Like, okay, you know, let me work it out. Let me try to listen to what they saying. Let me try to change it if I can, you know, if it's not too much, you know what I'm saying? But like, you know, take into consideration what they saying for sure. So,
I mean, definitely have a conversation. Lay it out there. Like, what you don't like. Like, what do I need to do to make you feel better in this situation? Like she said, try it. If it works for the better, then it works. Yeah. If it's not too late or they not, you know, that much gone, then you can't do nothing about it. But yeah, definitely try to change it up and see. And then go from there.
Well, on the flip side, when do you know enough is enough?
Whew.
When I start seeing red.
Yeah, baby. When my heart beats too fast, when I'm shaking,
my stomach hurt. I can't eat.
It's time to go.
I don't want to go nowhere with my friends. I've been there.
I ain't got no peace.
I'm in the bed.
No peace. I can even be out and I just still ain't got no peace.
Right.
That's what's on my mind. Like, that's when I knew.
Same.
Same.
It's crazy how heartbreak is one of the only things that you can't get a medicine for. You just got to sit in it.
You just
nothing helps it. Even drinking, even like that doesn't subdue
at all.
What you
grief
like
is
that,
the same way.
That heaviness in your chest, you still gonna be on your mind. Your heart still gonna be broken.
You still gonna be hurt.
That's crazy.
You just gotta move through it. Be around. Hopefully, you're around some funny people or something. Some people that can cook. It's supposed to.
I could laugh for an hour or two.
Yeah.
When I go back home, I'm like, all right.
Oh my goodness, I'm back in this sad atmosphere. I'm down. I'm down.
Man.
It's crazy. Like I looked at Snap the other day where I was a year ago, and I was like, God, I just can't believe you brought me this far from it. Like I looked at like where I was and how down I was down in mine. Like, dang, you really brought me on my long way and brought me through that. Like you got me on the other side of that, and I'm good now. And that's why I tell people, you just hang on. I know it hurts. I know it stings. I know it's the first thing on your mind when you wake up, the last thing on your mind when you go to bed. If you can even go to bed, if you can even stay asleep, but if you just hang on, each day it chips away, and you get 1% better. And that's what I think people try to make those big milestones and get 10% and 20%. You just got to sometimes lean on that 1%. If I think about you one time less today, or if I cry one time less today, or if I get sad one time less today, I've got 1% better. That means I can hang on to tomorrow. And so that's kind of how I try to condition myself. Do you think that it's easier for women to leave men or for men to leave women?
I think for men to leave women.
Think so?
For sure. Yes.
Why is it?
I mean, because like I go back to men having options, and men can't tolerate the stuff that they dish out. You cheat on a man, he ready to have a heart attack. You this, that, and the third. But he done cheated on you 3 times already, and you done took him back because you love him and you see his potential. And I feel like that's what we as women do a lot. We go off potential, and that sometimes will mess you up. You know, you know he can do this, you know he can do that, but he not doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Talking about potential, he has a potential to be a hindrance to your life.
Exactly.
He had no potential.
Exactly. So women, they stick it out way longer than men. Men, you can't do nothing. Sometimes you breathe wrong, a nigga ready to go. He ready to go. You ask him too many questions, you know what I'm saying? He ready to go.
Annoyed.
He's annoyed.
Irritated.
Oh my gosh. Yes. So it's
I agree.
You think it's the same thing?
Because women will stick it out.
Yeah.
They gonna be now they might be emotionally and mentally checked out, but physically they're still there.
Yeah.
Hoping for that little inch to be like, he gonna get it together.
Yeah.
Men,
so they gonna be better.
Please. I'm not saying all men. Let me not say it like that.
No, because there's some men who I know them been in some situation. They take their girl back. They, stick it out in the situation. And so I do think it varies by person. I think if we look statistically, it's probably more women who will probably stay in tough situations as opposed to if the shoe was on the other side, men. But there are some dudes out there that'll, hang around and try to make it work for you if he has feelings for you. And a lot of these guys will label him as a simp or different things like that, but you can't feed into their propaganda too. It's okay to care about somebody. It's okay to want to work it out with somebody. It's okay to want to be a part of them transitioning to the person that they need to be, but they have to want that same thing, and they have to want you to be there, to be a willing participant. You know what I'm saying? My issue with potential, and I learned that early, is potential doesn't fester into action if you don't know you got the potential to do that. So if I fall in love with your potential and you ain't trying to harbor on that potential to create an action plan, I'm making a fool out of myself. Because it don't matter what you could be. Do you want to be it? And then a step above that, what actions are you taking to get there? And if the answer is no and none,
you gotta
adios.
Hello.
And after a while. And so I think that it's strongly important to remember. And I think that, honestly, Black women deal with a lot. You already deal with a lot in society, and you got to go home and deal with a lot. Like, every story should not be wrapped in trauma and cheating and physical abuse and having to fight this girl and that girl and checking your phone. Like, some Black women and Black men, in my opinion, deserve a proper love story.
Yeah.
We meet, we fall in love.
Everybody deserves
it hits
that.
out, And so, yeah, everybody does. But for the ones who be out here cheating on purpose and doing people wrong, you
don't deserve it. You don't deserve it.
Karma is a B word.
Before you get
don't deserve it. You do not.
But I'm hoping that some people can just meet and it be instant connection and it becomes beautiful. You know what I'm saying?
And so, grow into something amazing.
It's just crazy. So, tell me a little bit about a situation where you knew, like, this is the end of this. I'm done with it.
I'll go first on that one. The last relationship that I was in, I was so far gone, y'all.
Laced on love.
I was laced on love. And then before him, I hadn't been with somebody for 2 years since my last relationship. So I just knew this was the one. He went about it so good. But I knew it was too much when he spent the night over my house one day. He was asleep. I took his keys. I drove my car all the way to his apartment to go in his Apple Watch. Because he stopped wearing it over my house because I would go through it. So
you did what?
I drove.
How
he
far
lived
did
in
he
Las
live?
Colinas at the time. I was living in Richardson. I drove all the way to that house and went through that Apple Watch and drove right back. He was still in the bed asleep. He didn't know I was gone. And got right in the bed. And when I told my homeboy that, he said, "You did what?" I said, yeah.
That's how you know
it was bad. It was toxic. I don't know. It was really bad. And that's when I knew. I was like, yeah, I can't do this no more. It hadn't already been bad before that, but I was going out my way. I didn't have no peace. I'm always thinking this, that, and the third. Like,
that's how you know it ain't for you.
Yes.
When your mind wrapped up, and I've most recently learned that, like, when your mind is just not settled, that's how you know it ain't for you. Yeah. And your intuition is telling you something, and as much as you try to back it down and want to leave, like, you gotta leave. Even if nothing is going on, that means you gotta fix something in yourself that's being triggered. So if something is going on, then your intuition is right. You got to get out of it. If nothing is going on, then something is nothing is going on with the person, but something is going on with you, which means you got to do the work to fix whatever that trigger is in you before you destroy another person. But go ahead, Nick.
For sure, my college sweetheart. I knew it got bad, so I had an Apple Watch situation. We was at the house. He went to work. And at that time, that's when Apple Watches, you didn't have to have your phone next to your Apple Watch. It was still getting the phone calls, the FaceTimes, the messages. I had to be at work maybe like an hour and a half later. Me and that watch got in my car and went to work. I'm at work like this. Just seeing it all. I think we was on a break. But still just seeing it, like, you knowing you was doing all that while we wasn't together. Now we back together and I'm just seeing it. Stomach just knots. I couldn't focus on nothing. I'm sitting at my desk. The watch starts ringing. Oh, it's a lady. I answer, hello? Through the watch, hello? So she's just like, how do you got this? And I knew at that point, I'm like, yeah. My main thing when she was on that phone, I told her, your services are no longer needed. Have a good day. And when I knew at that point, I'm like, you clocked out. Because you couldn't have just told another woman that. So that was that. I let it slide. Maybe years go on. We still dealing with each other.
Years.
Arguments are getting worse. The disrespect, not calling me out my name, but just saying certain things is getting worse. I'm starting to see red every time we have a disagreement. It got to the point, I'm a changed woman. I got to throwing stuff, breaking stuff. Yeah. And I told myself, I said, hey, you need to get out of this because somebody gonna end up hurt. Either it's gonna be you or him, or somebody might end up in jail. You never know. Like, so when I got to that point, and it was times where, like, I'd be at home in my bed, balled up. Oh, he outside having a blast.
Good time.
I'm on social media seeing all the stories. Like, huh? Well, I can't eat and can't breathe, and you outside doing Lord knows
That's
what.
crazy, right?
I'm like, oh, sir, please. Like, when I finally let that go, I just could just breathe 100%. I didn't have to sleep at night worrying about, I wonder if it's a lady over there. I didn't have to do no more, I'm a changed woman, drive-bys. I didn't have to do no more pop-ups. Like, it still hurt, but it was a different type of peace that I had. So I know you hadn't gone on. Shout out to the next woman that got you. Hopefully you don't take her through the same stuff you took me through. Hello. But you're a strong woman, my girl. But you got it. No,
I think for me, two things. One, when it got to escalate to a point where it's getting too combative, I ain't doing it, dog. I ain't finna be in those situations where if that's the case, regardless of what, which I can't say that in that one situation, I did have a huge part in provoking it. I did. Not because I'm not a physical man, though. I'm I love you type man. So I'm like, let's figure it out. But you got to give people space.
You do.
Because you ain't finna just foul me. But I'm going to eat the first one. Ooh. But that second one, wait a minute. Okay, I let you have that first one. You didn't hit me again. Now I'm finna have to put you on this ground and show you that I'm a man and we ain't playing them type of game. You know, keep your composure. You know, and so getting to that point, because I always vow to myself, my love thing, we ain't never getting no physical stuff. I would say, no, we ain't never doing that. Like, I'm a lover. That's me. I pride myself on being a lover boy. I don't care what nobody say. I ain't got to be rah-rah. I'm a lover boy. And I stand in that. I'm rooted in that. And then the second one, when I can't sleep at night, because in my mind, I know you out there doing something. Your phone magically going on Do Not Disturb. All of a sudden, out of the blue.
It's dead.
Or you know, it's just when it started getting weird where I'm getting too disturbed, I know, like, I got to exit stage now. Because
when you can't sleep, that's the worst. Waiting to get that call back or that text back. Like, you would just be up like, what is they doing? Mad. Like,
I knew in that situation, when I started noticing and other people started noticing, are you losing weight? I'm like, sick. Can't drink a sip of water. That's probably about it. And when I started seeing it, I'm like, I done lost myself. I don't even know who I am no more. Like,
can't keep nothing down. What Kelly say? My weight's going up and down. Can't keep nothing down. 2 miscarriages, and you never even said I'm sorry. That's crazy, but that's how life works. So we've uncovered the traumatic part. What is an ideal partner? And we know there could be no ideal, but what does a partner look like? The qualities, those grand qualities that you would just be like, yes, look like for you.
For me, Just like we mentioned earlier, I want an honest man. I want a loyal man. I want a man that uplifts me, teaches me things that I don't know. Come in, I need you to be a team player, respectful for sure, and just a big communicator. It took me so long to get to a good point of communication where I think I overstep it now because some men, they don't communicate at all. Where I used to shut down and people had to deal with me shutting down, now I got to deal with men shutting down. And it's a little harder for a woman to deal with a man with that. But I just need you to communicate, whether you can say 2 words, at least say 2 words instead of nothing.
Yep.
Like, don't ignore me. Don't just dismiss what I'm saying. Figure it out. Like, let's try.
Yeah.
But that's a lot. My main things right there. Okay.
Well, I agree with a lot of those things. My ideal guy would be somebody that, knows how to communicate, somebody who's big on reassurance, somebody who's loyal. I want somebody to be adventurous, willing to take risks. I want a man I can learn from. I want a friend as well as a lover. Like,
Definitely
I want us to
first.
be able to gossip together. I want us to be able to do everything. And most importantly, I want to be with somebody who makes me feel safe in all aspects. Like, I can say what I want to say. I know that ain't nobody gonna run up in here on us. Like, you got me and you got you, like, in every aspect. So
basically, y'all want me to clone myself and like give y'all a me.
Well, wait. Can you cook?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even want my man to know how to cook.
I
Like,
want him to.
he can just make the simple things. He don't even have to know how to, as long as he
It
know how to
don't gotta
grill.
be fancy. Oh, yeah.
As long as he
Check
know
my
how to grill,
credentials.
that's it.
Check my
I
credentials.
have.
You get in the kitchen.
When we had that barbecue.
I get
I
in the
remember.
kitchen.
Yep.
I go
Yep.
to that.
Baby.
For me, I'll say this. I looked at the calendar. This week made a full year since my last relationship. That's crazy. A year went by fast. And in that relationship, I could say that one of the things that I did to cause detriment to that relationship was not communicate. And my problem was I always thought that because I speak well and I'm eloquent and I could go in the room and got the gift of gab with anybody, that I'm a great communicator. That's totally different when you're in a relationship. I was not a good communicator. I did not stand up for myself and vocalize the things that I did not like or did not agree with, or just the way that I felt. And I became silent, and that silence can make you look like you being sneaky and got other stuff going on. And I didn't know that at the time, but I'm accountable for that now. And moving forward, the next person that I'm with, I'm a better communicator because of that situation. And so I think that I had to learn that through that difficult period, that just because you speak well and you communicate well professionally, you have to do work to make sure that you're a good communicator romantically as well, because you shouldn't leave any gray area for your partner to have a big imagination and cause thoughts to fester. Because when the seed is planted and it starts being watered, it's too late to dig it up then. Even though you're not doing nothing, even though nothing is going on in specific situations, your lack of communication is giving your partner uncertainty, and your partner does not deserve that. And so I agree with that. And I know that I should have done better, but I'm glad that I recognize that now and I can do better. And that's what I'm most thankful for. And so for me, ideal looks like honesty, communication, and comprehension. Like you understand where I'm coming from, and through your comprehension, you have intentionality on being a part of that. I'd have no desire to be number one in anybody's life, because you aren't number one in mine. I'm number one in my life. Well, God, then me. You know, my ask is to be a priority. There's a difference between being number one and being a priority. I'm not asking to be a priority. I'm just asking to be important to you. And it's certain things that you do when somebody is a priority that just can't be taught. They come natural when you're naturally feeling somebody. And so it's having that second nature, natural feeling, and not letting that die. Because it starts out heavy in the beginning and then it festers. You got to do the work to continue it and keep it up. And so I think for me, Ideal looks like those three things, and everything else will be added unto. Like I said, I'm working to build a multi-million-dollar empire, and there's a lot of things that I do behind the scenes and a lot of things that I'm shaping up to do. I need somebody who is not intimidated by my destiny, because I'm not going to be intimidated by yours. I know what's coming down the pipeline for me. I know what I'm working towards. And anybody who knows me knows I'm not going to stop till I get it. I need you to be able to get in a room with these millionaires. I can go on one side of the room. You can go on the other side of the room. We can meet in the middle of the room. We can work the whole room. Now we leaving out with a portfolio. Or even if that's not your thing, just be able to get in the room and hold your own. You know, you're proud to be on my arm. I'm proud to be with you. And we are not intimidated by what each other desires out of life. I let you do you in your bounds. You let me do me and mine. And we complement each other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to change your foundation. Relationships to me are just like a house. Sometimes when you find that perfect property, when we move in, oftentimes we don't move in to change the foundation. We move in and remodel certain things to fit our personality. And so I'm not looking for somebody that I need to change your foundation, because if I got to change your foundation, I could just build a brand new house. But you have a solid foundation. Now we just going to come in and remodel for each other to adjust based on what our needs and wants and desires are. And so I think when I think about an ideal partner, I think about somebody who's not only ready, but willing. You got to be both. You got to be ready and willing. Ready for what we're about to step into, willing to do the work to keep it. Ready for the relationship, willing to do the work on yourself. And I have to be the same thing. I just can't expect this from you. I got to do it too. You know, I got to be accountable on the things that I mess up on, or you might got to get on to me, because I ain't going to always get it right. I'm not perfect, but I'm loyal and I'm worth fighting for. And with me, behind you or in front of you or beside you, baby, I don't care if it's 10,000 bears. Nothing gonna beat a Jet 2 holiday, because we gonna take it when we get done. Do you hear me? And I'm not beefing myself up, but I just know how in I go. I'm your greatest asset. I'm talking to somebody. We just date, conversing. I'm talking to somebody. You tell me you want to do real estate. In 20 minutes, I done built you out a whole pitch business plan. That's how my mind works. Because if you with me, I ain't gonna tell you what to be. You gonna tell me what you want to be. You gonna put the seeds in my hand, and I'm gonna help you grow it. This your thing, but I'm gonna support you, because that's the type of partner that I am. What can I do to lighten that load to help you get there? Is how I think. You know what I'm saying? And so when I think about ideal, I think about those things. So. What are you doing right now to prepare yourself for the one?
I'm personally working on my communication, working on being honest. I am working on being more open. It's taking a little time, but I am open to it a little bit. But definitely communication and honesty, because now, for me, that's what I expect. Like, I want you to be honest. Like, tell me, don't think it's going to hurt my feelings. I want to know. Because if I find out, then I get that feeling in my stomach and I'm just sick, then now we got issues. You know what I'm saying? So, those are my big things that I'm really working on. My communication and being honest, my damn self.
Still working on communication. It's not the best. I can shut down. But I'm also better than where I was a year or 2 years ago. Also, letting my guard down is my biggest thing. Being open to new things. I'm open to it, but not all the way. So that's what I'm working on currently, to be able to give my partner 100%, or not letting him pinch me one time and my wall back up. Like, no, Ajane, get it together. Honesty to telling everything. I'm very private, and I've gotten a lot of things now that comes off as sneaky. But it's not that I'm being sneaky. So I got to change how I go about certain situations now. I don't want it to ever come off as sneaky. I'm just real to myself. Or like my day ones will know this, and this. But everybody don't got to know everything at that time. Especially dealing with these fellas in Dallas. I don't need to put you on Front Street right now, because that's when everybody start coming to you with all the negative. Just let's build it And then I'm willing. I'm real proud to post my man and this my man. Like, but let's build this first. So when people do come our way and start knocking stuff down, we already got that settled to where y'all can't mess with us. So just being open, more communication, better communication, and then just being more willing to, come into my life and do great things.
I find too that I've been finding that like sometimes I over communicate. For a guy that doesn't like to communicate, that might be annoying, or it might scare him, or or he might step up. It's one of the two. But I've been finding that a lot lately, and some dudes, they're very receptive to it. They they respect it or whatever, and they give you the same respect, and that's what I like. Those to me are some of the best like relationships, situationships, whatever. But like I don't know.
I think another thing for me too is overthinking.
Yeah.
I need to work on that. I could take one little thing and I'll be like, okay, this person doing this, stay here, there.
It's a trickle effect.
Like, I'll be talking to her and she'll be like, all right, Nate, like, relax, calm down, because you don't know. And I'll be like, if you give me too much time to think about it, it can go.
But see, that's where reassurance come in. And that's why that's something that I tell like guys, like that's what I desire. Like I need you to be reassuring. Like, because I overthink, like, for sure.
Yeah.
So that's just what I require.
I think I'm in therapy. That's how I'm learning about myself and what I need to do. Like I need to communicate better in certain aspects, but also learning how to boundary set. And I'm a natural giver, but you can't do that with everybody. You got to say some things got to be special for that one. So deciphering what are those things that I could do in dating as I test to see if you the person that I'm gonna take it to the next level with, and what are those things I need to save and only do when we reach a certain point. And I think that that's the biggest lesson that I've learned most recently is just some things just are absolute no-go in dating. Like it is a too much. But some things, you naturally do just to see how a person reacts to those. And so I think that learning more about myself and how I could show up better and communicate better is what I'm doing to work. So, all right, last little nugget. So I want you to look into that camera. I think it's probably one of them. Y'all know we trying to figure it out in here in the studio. Okay, look into that camera and just give some advice to somebody who is either dating and they are uncertain how to move, or they're looking to be vulnerable and jump back out there and give it a try. What would you say to them?
I would say don't ignore the red flags. Be open, be honest, but don't be no fool. If you getting signs and you got a feeling, you better say something, or you better do something. Don't ignore the signs and don't ignore the red flags, but still be open, be willing, and be willing to be vulnerable. Yeah. But don't be no fool. Don't be no fool.
Okay, I'm gonna say definitely be patient, be open, take your time to heal. We don't need no trauma bonding. That's not gonna get you nowhere.
Yeah, that's true.
And communicate. That'll take you a long way, more than what you think it'll take you. And then you should be good. And everything else follows.
Yeah.
All of that coupled with what they said, inclusive of don't lie, but also don't hold yourself back because you're so worried about being used. I think that oftentimes people are scared to do certain things or test certain things because they're scared people will take advantage of them. In my experience, you have to understand that there will be times that it possibly will happen. But what you got to hold in your mind is, I might have come into your life to bless you while you came into my life to take advantage of me. And so you're my assignment. And so as long as I still bless you, I've passed my assignment, which means God's going to give me more to continue to be a blessing to others. But you came into my life to take advantage of me. Now he's going to hold from you and you're going to lack and you're going to have to jump and try to find something else, and it ain't going to never work out for you because all you want to do is take. So you can't worry about being used. If you connect with somebody and it's on your heart to do certain things, do it and get that thing out. out. And if they're taking advantage of that, time will tell and it'll be revealed unto you. And they're going to go through a period where they're going to get their karma and lack, because you never win when you play dirty, in the words of the good Nene Leaks.
Hello.
And so I just want you to remember to show up authentically and honestly in who you are, and try to move past those barriers of brokenness. Authentic. And try to move past those barriers of brokenness to be the person that you want to find, number one, and to show that you are capable of loving and being loved. Because a lot of us feel as though we can love, but we forget to put ourselves in a position to be loved. Don't hold yourself back from being loved as well. And I think you'll be all right. Dating is hard, period. In these 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, it's hard.
It's hard. It's hard.
But it's capable. I think that there's somebody out there for everybody.
Yeah,
and I think
you just got to get through a couple bad seeds, you know.
Gotta kiss a few frogs to get a prince or princess.
Exactly. You're going to go through the motions, but you're going to learn some things.
I'm going to say lessons learned.
Yeah. Well, thank you, ladies, for coming to join me on the couch. Y'all have made me so much smarter about y'all today.
Thank you for having us. Thank you.
I thank y'all. Well, until next time, we appreciate you. See you soon.
All right.
Peace.
Bye.
So as you guys can see, a lot of us, whether we're male or female, are going through the same struggles when it comes to dating. And the question poses itself, if all of us are looking for the same thing, why the heck ain't none of us got nobody? That's the question. But as we learn these things, we become better individuals, and we move and push past all of those things that made us traumatized and hurt to truly get to the person that we deserve and desire to be within ourselves, and the person that we deserve and desire as a partner. A famous quote on one of my favorite shows, Being Mary Jane, once said, "The truth is, everybody's going to hurt you. You just have to find the ones worth hurting for." And I firmly believe that. So as you go through the motions of dating, whether you're in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, beyond, just remember that Mariah Carey once said, love takes time, and that same thing happens for you. I hope you've been made smarter today, and I can't wait to see you all on the next episode of the Relentlessly Becoming podcast. Peace.